You're not my buddy.
Welcome to Surface Noise, the A-side.
Oh, yeah, I don't want that. Hang on. I almost figured it out, guys. I was really toot my own horn on that one. Toot, toot. Hang on. Golly. No. There we go. Welcome. That's exactly what I want, but I want that. Boom. And I want that. Touchdown, St. Louis. Yeah. Awesome. Well, we'll let the room fill up here. I see the YouTube feed is a little behind.
Oh, yeah, like 10 to 12 seconds.
Yeah. How does this happen? Now it's just watching my chicanery. There it goes. Oh, there it goes. All right. Good stuff. Well, we'll let the room fill up. Jose, glad you could join us. Literally, right on time. Right on time.
Yes. How is everybody doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're let's see. Hit this. Boom. There's the chat. Boom, boom, boom.
I always forget like what time this is, and it's not my fault. It's just different time zones. So I did ask Jason, like I always do. So
Jason's your Swatch watch. Is that what you're telling us?
Right now.
That's funny. Oh no. Well, we usually don't talk sports on here, but I know we compete. This is part of the problem. Oh, I hear an echo. Who is that? Is that you, Bianco?
I hope not.
Hang on. It could be Jose. Jose, are you double watching us?
We didn't have an echo before Jose joined.
It's got to be Jose. Jose, can you see?
It's probably on my internet. Is it better now?
It could be. All right. Oh, now see, you just unfroze, Jose.
Now?
And I still hear it. I still hear my wonderful, sexy voice. All right, try it again, Jose. I still hear me. Hang on. I'm going to try one thing. This will identify it. Hang on. All right. Hello. No, I still hear it. I got him on mute, David. It might be you. Let's try it.
Me?
Let's see here. Yeah, I took care of the pest control, Arnaldo. Don't worry. Clean that one out. Let's see. If I do this, David, this is riveting. Hello. No, it's somebody else.
Can't be me.
No, you're a Restream Pro, Jason. There's no doubt about it. Well, Arnaldo, that just means you and me.
Well,
hang on. Let's try it out. This is riveting. Hello. Uh-oh. Then it's got to be me. I think we went through this last time, didn't we, guys? No, let's just do this. Boom. I think that's the move. Hello? No.
It's a feature.
I tell you what. Oh, and then Jose just straight up left. He had enough of this garbage. What a mess.
Yeah, I muted my mic. I'm still here.
Wow, now there's like an echo.
Hello?
No echo with you.
I'll change mine real quick just to make sure it's not me.
All right. Well, regardless, Jose's had enough of this melting popsicle stand, but he. Well, welcome to Surface Noise. We're gonna again. We're building the plane as we fly it. Jose is back. Let me let him back in the co-op here. There he is. Hang on, Jose. I got you. All right, Jose.
Jose's in like 2D.
Jose, are you using America Online? Or is that AOL.com?
I've never seen his Woodstock poster behind him. That's
I've seen him in this room before, but you're right. I've never seen the decorations are different. Jose, is this your bedroom?
Yes. I'm in El Salvador right now, so that's why I'm here. And the internet router, it's like a little far away from here, so that's why it's shitty in this room.
What are the other posters? You have Led Zeppelin,
I guess.
Woodstock, The Who.
Yeah, The Who. The
Ah,
Beatles, I
jeez.
guess. There's a Bob Dylan
man.
one over there.
Complete unknown, bro.
Yeah.
So is this where you grew up, Jose? This is
Hey,
like your
is
childhood
that
bedroom?
what is that? A Woodstock poster as
Yeah.
well? The one with the little bird?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. There's a oh, it's not there anymore. There used to be some Star Trek shit in the but not anymore, I guess.
Well, I know everyone is literally on the edge of their seats. So this is Surface Noise. Let's give it a quick round two. Chuck T wants to know, Jose, is that a Taylor Swift poster in your room? We can't make it out.
No.
It's a Kansas City Chiefs poster.
I think Chiefs. Are you a big Chiefs fan, Jose?
I got a new wait, if I can pull it from here. Oh shit. Broke the handle. I got a new
the biggest baseball. Jose is a huge base. Oh,
yeah.
Baseball been very, very good to me.
Oh no. Well,
I don't understand why I can't like baseball, but yes, I do.
we've already started the downfall of society with this presentation. I want to shout out the Bleach Boys. I know the Bleach Boys are watching and just hating my guts right now. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the Bleach Boys. But now that I've got that out of the way, this is Concert Buddy. Welcome back, Surface Noise A side. We're gonna talk records. You can kind of hear me. Maybe that's me. Hang on, let's do this. Can you hear me?
We can
Sure.
Yes.
No? All right. That didn't work either. Well, I'm not sure where that's coming from. But let's go ahead and go to introductions. Again, you've probably seen these faces. If this is your first time here, welcome. If it's not, then you know how this goes. The man to my immediate vicinity, 98% of the time, is the first one here to arrive promptly. That is Arnaldo. The channel is Fidelios_frequency. Arnaldo, how are you?
I am well. Happy holidays to everyone. The animations aren't working today. I don't know why.
Unbelievable.
I think it's just Restream. It's like
it is.
Yeah, Restream doesn't have those cool options that StreamYard has. So when you're trying to do the thumbs up, the devils.
It doesn't work?
No, that's No,
oh, there you go.
Restream.
Oh, it's working. It's working.
Yeah, Arnaldo just went back to the rave, so in your face, Jason. And then obviously you already heard him pop on. He is it cold? I mean, Jason, you're in Texas. The beanie is a good look, but it's surely not that cold. I mean, Minnesota, when you're doing the Minnesota thing, Jason Rojas, made sense. Explain the red beanie in Texas. Go.
It's actually 73 in Texas. I'm just wearing the beanie for all you winter people that are freezing.
Making us feel better. That's very kind of you. It's the kindness that counts. And then also in Texas, you haven't seen this guy in a minute. He is. There were concerns, David Bianco, that your channel, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion, might have been part of an FBI raid. Did you hear any of this? There was concern. You also had left the country. They thought maybe you're involved in this Diddy situation with all the other celebrities. How do you plead to the charges, David?
What did he do?
What Diddy didn't do, I think.
Yeah, it'd be a shorter list, wouldn't it? No, yes. I'm fine, and this is my word to the wise. Good grief.
Good grief.
But welcome back, Chance. Glad to have you on your own show. I'm glad to see you.
Oh, get out of here! Listen, we're all about passing the rock around here. So
there you go.
And then Jose Moreno Ron is broadcasting from. He just changed rooms because he was getting so much shit about the posters and the Mr. T bank account.
No, I don't.
Jose, welcome.
Well, funny enough, it's what I liked when I was a kid. I don't, I'm not trying to, hide it from anyone.
There's nothing hidden under the bed. Is that what you're telling us? It's okay, Jose. We all had those things. It's not a big deal. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to. I saw Kendall is here, but Kendall I know is traveling. Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Man said I just want to stop by and say hi. That's beautiful. I just drove 12 straight hours up to Connecticut, and I'm going to sleep now. Well, you're listening to the right program that will put you to sleep, Kendall. It's called Surface Noise, and it is the dentist's choice. When they run out of Novocaine or laughing gas, they literally put on these live streams. They've reached out. They've told me, thank you for what you're doing.
Well, You can ask Felipe about that.
That's true. We do know a dentist in the vinyl community. Now, David, we're already taking shots. We're under fire.
I see that.
Peter Mad Vinyl says, "What is that annoying timer behind David?" David, how do you please to these charges? Again,
It's a decibel meter. It goes and just goes up when I start talking, and when my wife comes in the room, it gets real low.
I have a question about that. Have you ever just farted and looked to see how many decibels you go?
No, but I'll put that on my to-do list.
I mean, I would.
I mean, Jose's asking what we were all thinking, David. I got to be honest. It did cross my, because I think it was the last show you were on, at least with me.
Yeah.
It was one of those shows that you had just moved to the new record space. We're getting things, and then you had that device, and you had the Louis Golden record. I do remember that. So David's been here in the last 2 months at least.
Yeah.
So
I was here early November.
Awesome.
Well, that could be like a fun.
I was in Ireland and then I
Christmas
was in
time,
Italy. So, in the last 2 months I've been touring the countryside, as they say.
You're filling up that passport, David, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You're filling it up. All right. Well, let's kind of get into it. And, one of the things that this show is going to talk about, and I know some of you guys talked about this with Spins last week about hang on, let me turn this one off. Cancel, get off of that. Was your 2024 like favorite pickups, and not really kind of along those lines. I'm kind of thinking of 2024 rewind in the sense of your collecting process, your collecting experience more than what you actually grabbed. If you want to talk about what you grabbed, no problems. But I'm thinking of what did you learn or not learn or remind yourself is a good echo, is a good practice as you are continuing to assemble the record collection, of your dreams. So, David Bianco, since you're back in the saddle, is there anything that you feel you learned or would do differently as a byproduct of an experience you had in 2024, and what was it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me, of course, was moving. And, this is going to fall into my resolutions, but definitely, one thing I've learned is, I got too much stuff between equipment and.
Oh no, David.
So
David, you froze for a second. Repeat that. You just said something very profound that got frozen. David, what was that profound thing?
He learned a lot.
Oh,
he learned that the decibel meter caught him, right?
David, you froze up for about 30 seconds. So you said you learned you had too much stuff. Go from there. Oh no, this is off. I mean, this is the last show of the year. I mean, it's like a porta potty of emotions. This is unbelievable. All right, well, Jason, since you just jumped into the hot seat, you've been doing this a long time. You've been collecting records longer than Jose's been on this planet. What would you say that you learned this year, if you learned anything, or did you just make a change of pace, a decision in that sense of things you're going to do differently that you should have done differently this year?
Well, I learned a lot about reissues this year. I think some reissues were good. Some of them were fool's gold. I was fooled by a couple of them. Like, I think I showed this on the last Surface Noise. I was fooled by this bad boy here. They got me. Wow. They got me by the leopard skin, alligator skin
Jason,
box.
I don't want to start any controversy, but I think Arnaldo, we thought we had him on the flip wagon. But then Arnaldo, I think, actually, you opened yours up, Arnaldo, didn't you? You just couldn't help it.
I caved. I cracked it open.
Well, we'll hear about that in a little bit. So, Jason, you wouldn't buy it.
What were they all scratched?
They were scratched by a lizard. I don't know if you knew that. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm. So, Jason, are you saying that you would not buy into the FOMO? Or you would not, or is it is that a shot at Rhino High Fidelity, or is it just a matter of I already have these records? Why did I buy them again? Where does that fall into that?
No, it's just the curiosity. I think I need to, I'm a very curious person. I'm hopeful that they will sound good, and it didn't meet my expectations. So I think I need to, like David was saying, maybe I need to tone it down too, because I have too many records as it is. I should be buying things that haven't been released on vinyl, you know, and appreciate them like a lot more. Especially a good example would be this one, like this 10,000 Maniacs MTV
Yeah.
Unplugged was never released on vinyl until this year, and this reissue is actually phenomenal. I kept on playing this
And you got the
constantly.
blue one. Shout out to Barnes and Noble with the blue exclusive. I see the hype sticker. I got the same one.
I mean, I think she sings as bad as Bob Dylan. I don't know what she's saying. I had to look up the lyrics, you know, like what she kind of slurs her words, you know. I was like, what's going on here?
Very normal. She sings extremely normal.
Actually, please, I
Extremely
need
normal.
to step in here.
All right, Arnaldo, don't take this.
Until I heard
I like
Natalie Merchant's
I don't mean
version
as a
of "Don't
public.
Go Back to Rockville" by REM that I actually understood the lyrics to the song. So please don't knock
No, I mean,
don't
I
knock
mean in a good way,
that
like,
Natalie Merchant's accent.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think she sounds very normal in the sense that it's not like I've never heard anybody say that she sings
Until
weird,
now. Until now.
you know.
That's
I
why
mean,
that's
this
why
is-
people
I
come to
guess.
Surface Noise to hear what no one
I love
else says.
I mean, I have to say, this is the worst cover.
my-
Like, this
my-
is the
my
worst,
biggest-
like, pixelated cover. I know you can't see it well, but come on now. Like,
No. Well, it's probably the CD.
that's right.
they
That's
just
right.
pressed it
Do
on
better.
vinyl.
Do better. Come on. You know?
Well, my question with MTV Unplugged shit is like, where do they keep the masters? Because they don't like to release everything, you know. Like the Bjork one, people don't even know that
Well,
shit
yeah,
exists,
people don't know
you
that the Cure one exists as
So-
well. So,
But the Cure one, Bjork has two, I think. So like the REM ones, I don't know if they're bootlegs or if the original like officially released, but like what's up
Well,
with that
Jose,
shit?
I'm
Like,
gonna throw a hypothesis.
Yeah.
This is a working hypothesis. Curious what you guys think. Is it possible they're more worried about the sound for TV than actually sound for mastering for distribution? Just a thought.
No, because weren't they also releasing them back then as a because at least the Nirvana one was released like a year
Sure.
afterwards?
Yeah, you're talking
Wasn't it?
94, I think. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was also a
Wasn't
compilation
the-
CD, which I have, that had selections from various unplugged. So they were recorded possibly with the intention that they would be good enough for release,
Yeah,
audio
there's-
release, because they're on that compilation. There's probably 15 songs, and they're from a variety of the performances. So yeah, I doubt the quality. I think it's more a rights issue.
Yeah.
I want to shout out new friend of the show, Darren
in-
Hatfield. I'm sure that's a real name. Says this show is awful. Well, thank you, and I appreciate it. Your
By the way,
opinion
I don't want
means
to
so
derail
much.
anything.
And I
He's half the Hatfields and McCoys. You better be
wanted
careful.
to acknowledge because some people need to be acknowledged. So I just want to acknowledge Darren Hatfield. Darren, hello.
I don't want to derail anything, but I learned like last week that
Uh-oh.
KFC, the chicken motherfuckers, they released a lot
In the
of
bucket
records in. No, yeah, but they have an actual label, and they release a lot of CDs from like Thailand or Singapore, one of those two countries, and they have a label. And so if you go to Discogs and you go to KFC, they have like CDs they release like in Singapore.
Jose, that's
I
a
just
fun
wanted to say
fact.
that. I don't know.
I love the fun fact. That's good. The more you know. So,
The more you know.
Jason, it sounds like one of your takeaways is really think about what you're buying, especially the new stuff that's coming out for a myriad of reasons.
Sure. I'm probably going to drop off the Rhino, reissue bandwagon for a bit.
You dropped off at the station, Jason. Come on. They're
I
counting
mean,
on.
I will be letting this go, before the end of the year,
Well, you missed the resale high wind. I'll tell you that because a few of us who have unloaded that piece, and I hope the people are enjoying it who rebought it, of course.
Can I reply to
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Ricefields Records?
Please do. This is the illustrious
it's a
Rice
do-rag.
Fields Records. I don't know if anyone knows the channel. I have one question:
Yes,
is Jason
yes.
wearing a
It
do rag?
is a
Do-rag.
do-rag.
This is a man who's very
Yeah,
versed in
it
the
is- it
streets.
is a
So,
do-rag.
Jason, how
Wait.
do you please to this one? Jose,
Go
go
Can I
ahead.
ahead.
answer for him? It is a Durac, and he bought it in some rice fields. There you go.
Stunty sent me his do-rag, so I am wearing it in tribute
Wow.
of Stunty.
Now, see, that makes a lot of sense.
And he bought it from some rice fields.
Come on. You don't have to make me big anymore unless you want to show
All right,
off
there you
my amazing Brazilian record collection. You know?
Well, no, I don't want to make people feel upset. So Arnaldo, well, hang
You
on,
know,
Jose.
I would say
Jose's on fire.
I
Jose,
like that
rip
wall.
it.
I know I was gonna say that I like that wall, but my favorite record from that it's the Modest Mouse. Man. By the way, I'm not in Monterey right now, but fuck Scarlett Johansson's record store day release. It had nothing. I mean, it
Jose,
was just like
if you
it
want,
should have been like
I'll
20
go
bucks.
over to that
It's
store and I'll
fuck
get you
it.
the OG.
Yeah, but you know what? I thought about telling you about it, but I feel like I'm never gonna get those $40 back. You know, because it's like 40
Is the
more
record
bucks
store
than I
day
could have
colored
gotten the
vinyl?
original ones. You know?
That's a good question. I don't know, Jose. Well, then
You may
great.
Yeah,
You're
get it
paying
back.
for
And
it.
remember, the original is like twice the amount, so you may get someone who wants to. You may lose $10 on it, but I'm sure you'll sell it. You can sell it for $30.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, Jose,
I'll
since you're
think
in the
about
hot
it. Probably.
seat
Yeah.
and you look so relaxed as you're about to
Yes.
fall asleep on us, what did 2024 mean to you in terms of your record collecting? And was there any high water marks? There's got to be low water marks. I know you like to share the stories of your Facebook Marketplace enterprises. So
Um,
2024 in a nutshell, Jose.
actually, you know what? I just got all the records. So when I'm not here in El Salvador, I buy records sometimes, and then my dad goes to pick them up with something from the Facebook Market. Uh, so he hasn't
Oh
been shot yet,
no, we don't
but
want to. Now, Jose,
no, it's normal people he buys them from. But I just thought it was interesting because my favorite records that I got this year, I just got them, you know. So I will say that I think I didn't buy a lot of reissues. Talking about reissues, I think I only bought like 4 or 5 reissues, and all of the other things were records that I really, really wanted that I thought I was not gonna get. I I'm pretty happy about being able to find records that I thought I was never gonna own, dig up so much that for example, for one record, I bugged anyone and everyone that I thought could have it. And that was an interesting few months of asking people around if they had a copy of a record that I wanted. Even to the point where I asked 3 musicians that were on the fucking record, and I'm gonna release something by one of them. So it was good for something, I guess. But it was good. It was a good year collecting. I think it's the year that I've scratched more records that I
well,
really
good.
wanted.
Well, that's good. That's what it
You
should be all
know,
about, right?
yeah. Yes, I do have
Yeah,
records
Cesar.
here.
I was
Cesar
going to
was
highlight that
asking.
question.
Yeah,
Cesar is asking Jose, do you
yeah.
still have any records there at your house in Salvador?
I I do have I have like 200, 300 records here because every time I come here, I take records back. You know, and actually got a record from that Stunty sent to my sister in Barcelona, and then my mom brought it back here. So that's a long ass,
That's a track.
because it's for English record. Yeah, it was released in England, shipped to Stunty. Stunty sent it to Barcelona, and then it's here, and then I'm gonna take it to Mexico. It's a long
It's
fucking
a
ass
long
thing,
travel. So
you
now
know.
we got a question.
Yeah.
Easy Now 27 says, can we hear the end of the Fidelio story on the Cars LP debacle? Yes, but stick around for the freestyle. We've already talked it.
Yes.
There's been some updates, and you're not going to want to miss it. That's what we call the tease. This is what the folks in the industry call the tease. So stick around. We'll get into probably the beginning of the freestyle. I have some freestyle topics, but we'll push that one to the front of the queue in case people are new to that.
I look like a frog right now. I'll show some of the records I got for
Oh
Carnival
yeah,
slash
the Festival of Lights. That's good, Jose. I'm looking forward to it. Now, Arnaldo, you still got your
second day.
Christmas tree up.
Second day.
Yeah.
You're not one of these people that takes it down literally at
No,
12
it's
o'clock
Christmas
midnight.
at least until January 1st, right?
All right.
Three Kings.
Although, well, yeah, some people will say Three Kings. I usually leave it up until the first weekend that I'm available to. I'm around to take it down. So probably that's what it's going to happen.
You're gonna take it out
Yeah.
for
Oh, no.
Kwanzaa.
Isn't Kwanzaa tomorrow?
Isn't it on the 21st?
We are so
31st?
ill prepared for the holiday
Yeah,
season.
It was actually on the
today. Look.
25th.
But
Okay,
today.
sorry.
Kwanzaa's today.
It's today. See,
Sorry,
Happy Kwanzaa.
sorry, all those Kwanzaa nights.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa to you and to everyone. So
Yeah,
Arnaldo,
Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
2024. What do you think of? Obviously, like I said last week, you guys kind of touched on what you picked up, but what did you learn? What information that you are going to carry forward, right, wrong, or indifferent, heading into 2025, which we'll get to in a second.
Not to give into the FOMO. And when I say that, there are a lot of vinyl community channels that will advise on what to buy, what not to buy. So I did pick up things that maybe I shouldn't have. And then I discovered later that things that were recommended I should have picked up or I picked up later. Maybe I guess that's it,
So who to trust? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, who to trust. And I mean, everyone has an opinion and everyone's entitled to express their opinion, right? But I think some how do we want to call them? I think some people have more of a vested interest to push forward certain releases that maybe we should be a little more careful, right? And it goes for used records, right?
Sure.
Originals as well as reissues, because we know very well how much some people care about their vintage collection and like to hype up for one reason or another their the value. Not that it really matters. Does it matter? I don't know. It's the market really that dictates how much a record is really worth, and really it's only the music that really counts.
I disagree. I'm going to just shout out to Arnaldo. When this gets reissued,
Oh, no.
with the
Michael Fremer
bass,
record. It would
the mid-range
be near the
boost,
end show without Michael Fremer.
he's pointing at Arnaldo right now.
And there's another thing that I did learn is record fairs or record stores, never be in a rush. Take your time.
You're stealing one of mine, Arnaldo. Yes.
Yeah, you could reiterate.
All right.
Pay attention. We have Discogs. I have no shame whatsoever looking up a version, an edition, a matrix number, or even the price. If I have something to say, I can always walk away. If they don't like what I'm telling them, if an insert is missing, if it's warped, if it has some kind of dimples on it, pay close attention. That's all I can say is that's what I learned basically over the
Fair
past.
enough.
And you also learned how to page Mr. Rojas, when he's
Yes,
to,
who responds with the Discogs entry, and I'm like, thanks.
Wow. Unbelievable. So my man, the Tiki man, David Nelm says, "What if you guys are buying less records? How am I going to know what to buy?" Well, David, this is a fair conundrum. This is, I guess, where we announce it, guys. That the Patreon, we're going to establish the Surface Noise Patreon, and for $17.99 a month, we will tell you everything you need to buy, and then we'll just see you buy it. How about that? No. David's a good deal. I like him. Cesar has one for you, Arnaldo. He says, big shout out to Arnaldo for introducing me to the best band of 2024. Who is that, Arnaldo? Because I don't know if you introduced them to me.
Oh my God, I only made 2 videos on them. That's why no one watches my channel, and then they find out a year later, oh, that record's really good. Or when they come around to the second album, man, how did I miss this band the first time around?
Yeah, too funny, too funny. All right, well, I'll step
Look at
into
this.
it.
Wait,
Jose,
look
yes.
at this. Look at this. It says, can you read it? New listings added for Chalino.
Facebook Marketplace. That's where Jose
Yeah.
gets down. He is not afraid to get down with the brown over at Facebook Marketplace. So, first of all, last time I was on here, people were upset that my camera wasn't on point, so I made sure to polish it. Got it all going. You can see a little of the red of my nose. Got a nice little winter infection going on, but
Is it snowing over there?
it's not snowing. It was actually raining. It was very mild here in the Midwest. So we it would have been snow if it would have been cold, but we got a lot of rain. But to Arnaldo's point, my number one learning is always do your research. Always, always, always. Don't feel self-conscious at a record fair if you're pulling out your phone and you're looking up the matrix and you're doing all that stuff, especially anything that's pushing 50, 60 or more dollars. If they are making you feel bad about doing your due diligence, F them. Because I got snake bit a couple times trusting a dealer or trusting a online buyer who had hundreds of feedback. And so you think they know what they're doing. No. Do your homework. And in fact, I would even counter that with do too much research. I learned this from Arnaldo. Arnaldo, we were at that New York record fair, and Arnaldo was, he was literally looking up the family origins of the mastering engineer on this one
family
particular
trees.
record. And yeah, it was like impressive. I was like, wow, this guy is going the full mile. So I would say that. Another thing that I am going to bring into the new year, and we'll talk about the new year in a second, is be very, very selective about buying duplicate records, particularly reissues. And I say that because I was going to try to do a video on my best new, like records that were released this year for 2024. And I only had like 4 that I picked up that were true new news. Now, that doesn't mean I wasn't buying new vinyl. It was just a shit ton of reissues. The Natalie Merchant 10,000 Maniacs was one. So many reissues. The Lenny Kravitz new record was one I picked up. The Black Crowes new record. Literally, it was worse. Last year, I didn't even have 10, and I was embarrassed. I made a video top 10 that wasn't even 10 new. And I was like, I'm going to do better this year. Wrong. 4. So many reissues. Did I really need all the reissues? Well, that's another conversation for another show. And then the last thing I would say, and I said this, and I wish I had the slow music, process those records before you put them away. Draw that nice lavender bath with your humdinger or your ultrasonic of choice. Get out. Jason likes that one. That's actually a trademark. I owe Jason 5 cents when I use the word humdinger. But no, clean and process your records. You go to a record fair, you pick up a stack. You go to your local, pick up a stack. Don't just let them sit on the floor. Don't clean them and then put them in with the rest of your records because they'll get lost. And then guess what you'll end up doing? You'll forget you bought one because you didn't catalog it, and then you'll buy it again, and then you've got 2 of them. So, and Arnaldo's shaking his head. He's been there. You got to process before putting away. I'm going to make a T-shirt, buddies. It's coming. Process before putting away. And the more you know. And this is where I play the drop, except Restream has really screwed my drop sound. So we'll get into that another time. All right. Anything else anyone would like to add? Can we put a bow? Can we put the bow on 2024? I think it's time. It's enough. Jose, last word on 2024, Jose. Jose, this is powerful. You can change the world right now, Jose. Don't hold back.
Jose wasn't lying. There's KFC records out there.
There you go. Can you put that up?
Is this an emerging KFC artist? Jason, tell us about on the KFC label. Rosa?
Was it Philippines or was it where was it?
It's in Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia. All right. But it's an actual label. They release like
yes. This will also come out with the purchase of 5 spicy wings, right?
That's amazing. I love KFC now. I can't eat it, but fuck.
Yeah, hey, listen, we're not going to take any Colonel Sanders hate. I'll just stop the stream right now. Colonel Sanders, American hero. Okay, let's just be clear.
Processed records, you know.
That's right. That's right. Oh, Ivan is here. Ivan, you speak for the masses. Has hit that thumbs up. Yes, it costs nothing. We don't even on the Patreon. We're not even going to charge for thumbs up.
5 cents. That's my line. It costs nothing. It's free.
Oh no, I'm stepping on everybody's feet today. This is unbelievable. Now the record keeper does have a good point here, and Arnaldo knows this because this is something we talked about in New York. Lavender really brings out the top end of your records. Accurate, especially if you went to Bed Bath and Beyond today and their post Christmas sale, 75% off everything. That's when you load up on that lavender. It is the best time to get that lavender. Trust me.
Trust me. Fuck, I've never heard of that.
You never heard of Bed Bath & Beyond 75% off sale? Jose, it's a life changer.
No, I've never heard like Christmas smelling like
you
lavender.
Still have Bed Bath & Beyond in Missouri?
No, I get those confused. It's not. It's
we have that
Bath
here.
and Body Works. I apologize. Bath and Body Works.
That's different.
Yeah, that shows how much I shop at those places.
There's Bed Bath and Beyond here in over there in Mexico.
Oh, good stuff. Oh, Jack's here. Good.
There's still Radio Shack in Mexico. And here.
Oh no! So Jack is here. He says his Flaming Groove listens. Ray Benson quote swinging and skanking on Sweet and Spicy Records. Try it, you'll like it. Now see, that's something I'm going to highlight because I will go back and look at it. Now if I open that on my web browser, Jack, and there's a bunch of weird shit, I'm going to blame you. So I hope there's not a bunch of weird stuff coming out on that one. We'll see how it goes. All right. Well, goodbye 2024, 2025. Arnaldo, you're right in it. So Arnaldo,
get me on.
Well, we're coming correct.
I feel like the guy that when celebrities when they're at an award show, they always have to be on their best behavior because you never know when the camera is gonna cut to you, and the last thing you want is to have a sad face or a surprise face or
wiping your nose. Exactly. Yeah. So Arnaldo, now that the camera's on you again. 2025, have you given any thought, any contemplation to what 2025 will mean? Are you going to just get all the Rhino hi-fis? Are you going to get all the acoustic sounds? Are you going to get, what does it look like for you? Do you have a roadmap already kind of in process?
Yes.
All right, tell me.
Avoid or approach with caution, let's call it. Double 45s. I've noticed that I haven't been listening to them. So that's one thing. Buy less duplicates and buy records that I don't have rather than like a new version, a reissue version, or the best and greatest. And try to sell off some of the records that I really don't listen to very often and my duplicates. Those I need to make space, need to rotate the collection and really try to have things that it's impossible. You can't have every album of every artist that you like unless you have an amazing space to collect all these records.
A warehouse, a compound in Nicaragua. Yeah, all these things. Yep.
And it's okay if you have the CD version of it. You don't maybe need the vinyl version of it, especially if it's a CD, if it's an album that came out in the CD era, right? So, and then we have the good old streaming. So there's other ways to listen to music. We don't have to always everything physically on vinyl.
Arnaldo, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, you're saying that for a vinyl record live stream, we're saying you don't have to buy vinyl records all the time. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm going to try it personally to be at least a little bit more selective and not buy doubles, not buy the reissue of the reissue.
Yes. Friends don't let friends buy the second reissue. You're right about that. Yes.
Or try to acquire the records that I really want originals of rather than records that I'm just buying a duplicate or a reissue only because it sounds good or it's supposed to sound good, right? Or the expectation or the curiosity of it sounding better than what you already have, only to be disappointed.
So is it safe to say that you're not necessarily going to chase the best sound? per se with some of these
No,
reissues.
that's always going to be. I always want to get the best sounding version of the record, but there's compromises to be had. One, if it's a double 45, we've already spoken about this. How much incrementally better than what I already have is that version going to give me?
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. All right, now this is a good one. Now Darren the Record Hound is here. He says, "What did I learn? Continue selling my purge at shows. Stay the f away from VC snobs." Oh my gosh, there's shots fired. Is he talking about us? Are we the VC snobs? And enjoy digging as usual, not rebuying crap that VC people push. Wow.
Oh, yeah. On that topic, I'm going
All
to
right,
show
do it.
two. I'll obscure my camera for a minute. I'll be back.
All right, so I'll get David's thoughts, and then we'll come back to Arnell. So David, I saw you put in the comments you've only got 5 on your
In my
want
want list. Yep.
Wow. So is that how does that factor into 2025? Are you gonna go hard and try to knock all 5 of those out, or what does 2025 look like from this early view?
Well, I'm gonna rationalize my collection, and so what that means is I'll probably get rid of half of it.
Now, is this David? I'm gonna break some news here. Is
Yeah.
this one? Now, hang on. I even have a drop, but the damn restream won't even let me do this. So hang on. If you can hear it, congratulations. This is not. This is a. It's not even going to play it for me. So anyway,
Okay.
dee 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 dee. That's what the sound would be. David, I saw. I might have saw that you started a whatnot. Is this true? Did you start a
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
So
I
is this
started
part?
with
Is this
that.
part of your purge initiative?
It is part of it. Yeah, I've actually got some on there now, but I'm really going to pull out duplicates. I'm going to pull out things I don't listen to. I'm going to keep all my top copies. And so, I'm going to try to focus on making sure I make available to people I know in the VC first what I have available, and then I'll put them out through whatnot or whatever. But if there's people that are looking for something that I have, I'd rather give it to somebody I know and sell it at whatever scratch price is as opposed to anything else.
Well, I'm always looking for that Beatles mono box set. So
Hey, Jose, he didn't say charity. He said sell it at scratch price.
I thought you hated the Beatles. Wait a minute.
No, I just hate Paul.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
so
So
that's
have
part of it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say. So back to the whatnot thing because I'm fascinated by people do. So have you done a show yet, or are you just setting up?
I
For the
haven't.
show?
I haven't
Okay.
done a show. I've sold some just by having them on the
In your store?
in my store.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and I've got a few high end things on there, but most of them are $15-20 type records. A lot of them are sealed duplicates of things. But for me, that's one thing, is to definitely rationalize what I have. But I am looking forward to the rest of the Atlantic 75 series, even though I know they're 2x45s. I do enjoy those from a shootout standpoint, and saying, hey, what's is it better, is it not? But I know I don't play them as much either. That's true. I don't have time for a lot of things. So 2025 is going to be really thinking through what I do, maybe making a few system changes because I've got a lot of excess equipment. So yeah, it's going to be a year of downsizing and change, I'd say.
Fair enough. Well, David, that's reasonable. I think we're picking up some common themes. Or fine tuning the bonsai tree, making sure that as my wife reminded me today, quality over quantity. Jose, now I don't. Jose, are you lighting up something? What is what? First of all, you're buying something on the Facebook Marketplace? Jose, shout out to the legend, the Colonel Sanders. This is for you. I was gonna put on my Colonel Sanders socks, but no one would be able to see them, so don't want to upset anybody. But Jose, 2025, what's on the horizon for Jose Moreno Ron, the record collector?
Well, I have 2,500 records on my want list. So,
is it possible
yeah.
you want them all? It's not like Pokemon, Jose. You don't need to collect them all, right?
Well, it's interesting because I think most of them are different bands. So it's not like, I'm putting everything from a band there. So yes, it's I've seen people that have way more than that on the one list.
Can you
I
name
think
these
one
people,
lists are
Jose?
pretty
No,
good.
that's a bold charge. Give me two people.
Well, you probably
Is
know
is
a
there
few
is
of
there
them.
one is there a Frenchman involved? Because I can imagine the Frenchman having a lot. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Well, with Stunty, it's interesting. Sometimes I'm talking with him about a record, and he immediately says, "Oh yeah, I have that on my one list for like years," and I believe him because I'm a very compulsive guy when it comes to one list, but I don't do it as often because it's Discogs. Sometimes when you have like a lot of one lists, it's always like record store day shit that you didn't buy like 2016, and I hate that with all my might. It's like I don't want to see it, so I'm always like purging things from my one list. But I would I would like to continue the way that I've been buying records this year, which was a lot of like private collectors that sold me the stuff for better prices, better quality, and don't get. I'm a very patient guy. Like I got records that I might
Yeah,
show later on that I bought more than 6 months ago that I'm just getting, you know. So I'm a very patient buyer, and I think you're rewarded with that because most of the times, there's no reissues of the things that I like, in general. So in general, I don't have that problem of like buying reissues or crappy stuff. There are some records that I don't mind having a reissue because the original ones are probably never going to sound good, or I know that it doesn't sound good, or stuff like that. But which I'll show one today
nice tease, Jose. You're
because
picking it up, man. You're
some
like an old pro. These deep teases, I love it.
no, no, no. No, but what I mean is like, for example, like with psych music, when you collect psych music, where like experimental music, most of the times if you get an original press, it's gonna be like very expensive. It's gonna be beat up the fuck up like G plus
Right,
VG
right.
tops, and sometimes you just want the music, and because vinyl is the format that I listen to the most after cassettes, because I do collect a lot of cassettes. I just think that it's worth it just to buy the record. I don't know how the original one sounds because I'm not gonna pay $1,000 to get it.
Well,
So
wait till the Patreon kicks in,
actually,
Jose. We're going to be rolling in the cash. You can buy all the $1,000 records you want.
it'll be nice if I convince Stunty to talk about a record that I bought for him almost 2 years ago, and a friend of mine is gonna give it to me on tomorrow. So that's gonna be like the longest I've heard someone wait for a record that actually bought. So that's pretty good. It's a Chilean record, but the shipping from Chile to anywhere else was too expensive. So I had a friend of mine bring it from over there. But I would say like I want to continue 2025 having patience to buy records, keep digging. Not the first time that I see a record, I'm gonna buy it. If it's not in the condition that I want it, if it's not the pressing I want, I
Wow.
won't buy it.
I like it,
That's what I was
Jose.
saying.
I like it. So we got a
Well,
couple of notes and things. So music in the house. I was going to ask you guys use this. Music in the house says I'm finding want listers filter with real time notifications to be helpful. Was anybody using that? I think isn't that on Discogs?
Yep. It's a new
I don't know
It's like
what
feature.
that is.
yeah, it's a new feature. I haven't really played. I'm right now. We'll talk about maybe in the freestyle, but
How do
I
you
And
don't
I
use
know.
realized
it?
I had too many.
That's
Yeah.
funny. And then the other one
Well,
before we go on to Mr. Rojas, who I think just answered them, but I saw Frank, Mr. Stickermania is here, and he was thanking Jason. Now I watch your stuff too, Frank. I don't comment all the time. In fact, I watched you the other day when you're using the tea kettle and you're steaming the cover off of a butcher. I caught it at the very end, so you literally went off the air. But Frank knows his stuff, and Frank is I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of Beatles people in the vinyl community, but I'll take Frank over anybody. Frank versus anybody because he knows his stuff. And I'm a Luke Luke Beatles person, but anytime that Frank's talking about it, I know it's legit. So Anyway, keep up the great work, Mr. Stickermania. It's Frank. Subscribe to Frank if you can.
Yep,
It's worth your
great.
time. All right, Mr. Rojas. I don't know why I gave you the Latino roll of the tongue because obviously that's not appropriate. But Jason, what does 2025 look like to you?
Similar to what David said, I'll probably be cutting my collection in half.
Oh no, are you sick? What, Jason? Is this breaking news? Jason, I hope
Well,
you're not sick.
it's just you can't take it with you. You know what I'm saying? You can't own all of this. And I'll still continue to buy records. And I said like earlier, like I'll just be a little bit careful. I always need to ask myself now: do I really need it? Will I listen to it again? It's the silly questions that I ask Arnaldo at a record show. Do you like this band? Do you like this music?
How much do you like that record?
Right. That's correct. So, I mean, again, I'm already breaking my rules because I've said I would not buy any more Fela Kuti records. And what do? I do
You just stepped in it.
order
Yeah.
right from Africa, and I had to get them, like Fela Kuti, Why Black Men They Suffer. They've been suffering for a long time. Fela Kuti VIP,
Oh, man, look at that
Vagabonds and Power. I mean,
I love that suit.
this cover looks like it's been stepped on by 10 Fela Kuti fans, right?
Was Frank trying to remove the butcher cover from that one?
Open and close.
Have all these records,
Yeah.
have all these records been blessed by Dylan or not? That's my question.
These are not from the VOA collection, but again, I couldn't help myself.
I actually got some of those. I'll talk about in the freestyle. Go ahead. Oh no, we just saw. Oh no, the stream is. Oh, Jason, thanks for ruining our stream. Come on.
And no agreement. So I'm going the opposite. Like I'm going, records. These were cheap. But of course you can see why they were cheap.
Yeah, pick that up.
Well, most of them look like that. If somebody owns a near mint copy of those records, I wouldn't believe it. I don't know.
Right. I mean, it's something that like, I think from the OBC, like Dave OG, he used to show a bunch of Fela records and I'd be like, how does he get them so clean? Like I've never seen them clean, When I got all these were not clean, impossible to get.
Well, I've seen Fela Kuti records that are clean when I was in Europe, and it was a guy that just literally bought a bunch of records in the 80s and he fucking died. And somebody bought them like on a collection. So I guess they do exist.
Yeah, they do.
But,
it's just hard,
Wow. Well, a couple things too, guys. I saw in the gallery some activity. I'm not sure who this gentleman is, but Oberheim said, hang on, I'm going to go back to this comment because it was friend of the show in the notes. So, yeah, here we go. So, Oberheim says, just picked up a couple Project Gemini records, and I'm keen to listen to them. Has anyone got any good reviews with them? Mark K has been on the program, promoted, I think, his last album. Definitely, if you're into prog, it's good stuff. It's not in my wheelhouse. I like when Mark puts out these projects because it gives me an opportunity to listen to his new stuff. But I know there's several people that have picked up some of his stuff and speak very highly of it. So
I can't see Arnaldo.
Oh yeah, well, hey, listen. Cesar was really upset with us because we weren't doing this view. Oh, hang on, here we go.
Okay, you know how everybody kind of like, oh, for Christmas, I got a pair of socks.
Oh, no. Arnaldo,
right?
Who gave these to you? Walter, did you? No way Walter gave these to you. Come on.
Yeah.
Walter. Oh, the vinyl. Yes. yes. Totally redeemed. Yes.
Well,
Walter, nice.
I like
play,
those
nice
socks,
play.
but the KFC one.
You had me hooked in. I was like, somebody went to Old Navy.
Can you show the KFC
bam,
ones?
hit you with the vinyl snub. Nice.
That's why. Who was the comment? Who put up the comment?
That was David Nelms. David Nelms had shared that with me before.
Did Walter get VMP? Did Walter get VMP to send those to you?
But I call myself a vinyl snob, But in the sense where I discriminate about pressings from various countries, and whenever we're in Europe and I flip through the bins, I was like, oh, I wanted this. Let me see. And I turn it around. It's like, oh, this is a Portuguese pressing, or this is an Italian pressing. All right, back in the bin it goes. So yes, I I
like
confess,
that. I always
I'm a
buy
vinyl
from.
snob. Yes.
Oh yeah, so David Nelm says yes, those are the same socks he got. So look at that, twinsies. I like it. Nice taste. Nice taste. All right.
Actually, I going through my collection here. I found my copy when I was growing up of Nevermind. I'll show that in a while, but you know, I'm happy to own it. But I thought I didn't own it anymore, but I guess I do it. And it's from Bolivia.
Bolivia.
So you know,
All right.
and it's going for like $400 in Discogs right now. So
Crazy.
How's the vinyl?
I could sell it. I could sell it and buy a US one for a little.
You could buy the cover, baby.
I don't know. Hey, it's $400 less. I've already found a US one and I flip it immediately because I fucked up and I sold it for like $800.
Oh, that sounds like a real mistake selling something for $800, Jose.
Unless you paid $10 for it.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
I think I paid like $25 for that.
What?
One. Yeah. I bought it like in 2007 in Florida.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Well,
I've been collecting for more than a few people.
wow. Jose's throwing it on the table. I like that, Jose. All right. So Liz, I'll put a bow on this topic.
You weren't even born when I was buying records.
This is how the show. This is how the show fractures right here. Now we're doing age appropriate. So 2025. I kind of hit on it some of the 2024 stuff. I'm going to carry that into 2025. But really, we've already heard some of the themes. The guys talked about fine tuning the collection, keeping really the stuff that should be kept. Like right now, here's a perfect example. I'm clean. You know what I'm cleaning right now? I'm at the end of cleaning all of my records. I'm at the tail end of 4,000 records, and I'm cleaning the Judds. I've got the Judds discography. The Judds. Okay.
Is it Wyona?
The fuck is the Judds?
Well, no. Now Wyona, I do have the record club stuff of hers, but this is Wyona. This is Wyona and Naomi. So this is when they broke in, and yes, the Judds. So I'm asking myself,
what is that?
As I'm putting the Judds in my ultrasonic cleaner, do I really need every album by the Judds?
What is it? Can you show one?
They're
I don't know what that is. What is
I might pull one up.
Did you also put it in
is that country?
In a polylide sleeve?
Oh yeah, the whole Listen.
Oh, wow.
I'm not discriminating. They gets the VS, the vinyl storage solution, dual pocket. It gets that. It gets the polyline sleeve. I mean, no discrimination. If it's in the collection, now there's things that shouldn't be, and the Judds may be one of them. Anyway, so I'm asking myself, the Judds, really? I don't know.
Can you highlight KRWD's comment?
I'm cleaning the jugs. Yeah. Well, I mean, that would make more sense because there is a part of my record collection that is about the boobs. I'm not going to lie. It's just a part of the collection. Oh, now hang on. Jason, I see, is coming. There we go. That is the Judds. The two on the right are the singers, and then obviously everyone knows Ashley Judd from her thespian career in the movies.
She's a thespian? Oh, a thespian.
She is a significant thespian, and she's been in several movies.
If I was ever to be tortured in Guantanamo Bay, I would fear my life if they put that shit on. That would be
What? Like, what did you say?
It would be like waterboarding to him.
Jose, don't fly American Airlines, and that's all I can tell you. You'll be subjected to a lot of this.
I rather get waterboard with like gasoline.
Wow.
Than that shit.
Wow. But no. So the last piece, Jason, you have all these pictures on the ready. Are you a secret Judds fan? What's going on here?
Well, I always knew that Ashley Judd was one of the sisters.
That's for the 3 a.m. Workout sessions.
Oh wow, Jose! I saw Malaya
Jose.
Malaya was already in the gallery flashing some keyboard nudity. So I don't know, Jose. We're just going downhill real quick. But David Nelms again. Well, David, coming in clutch. Shout out to Vinyl Storage Solutions. They're having a sale now. That's right. Today is Boxing Day. Our friends in Canada celebrate Boxing Day, so you can get some discounted sleeves on Boxing Day.
Is that better than the CONCERTBUDDIE 10%?
Today only it is. It's better than the CONCERTBUDDIE 10% because it's 25%. So I would encourage people to use Boxing Day to buy the Vinyl Store Solution sleeves. Jose?
Wasn't there a Canadian post
Oh,
strike?
great question, Jose. That's a great segue because they use FedEx, so you have no issues. You don't have to worry about that corrupt Canada post. That your sleeves will arrive.
Thank
That's right.
God
So don't
for
worry about that. Before we put 2025 early thoughts to bed and we get into the freestyle, I did want to ask you guys, because this is part of my 2025 view, is do you have any vinyl targets? And what I mean by that is an artist or a label or something that you're really going to lean into in 2025. For me, and maybe this is because I'm not a genuine record collector, but I'm really going hard into early Towns Van Zandt, the stuff on Poppy, right?
the
Because
judge.
I have, and it's yeah, Jason made the face. It's hard to find and it's hard to afford. So I've got some of the tomato stuff, but I don't have the Poppy stuff. So that's something that I'm going to go kind of like, I'm going to put the old monocle on and I'm really going to kind of lean into. So Jason, since you're big, anything that, are you really going to like, you've been flexing these Brazilians, you just flex that big stack of Fela Kuti. Is there anything that you've got to target on for 2025?
More Fela Kuti records. I'm all in. I give up.
2 feet in. All right. Fair enough.
I always said I wasn't going to buy anymore, but then they just keep dragging me in.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Arnaldo, any targets, artists, labels? Because you got the Ultimate Smiths collection. So, I mean, you're obviously always looking for those things you don't
That's
have.
a wish list. I have them on my want list, and yeah, there are a few that are missing. I think I want to start. Now that you pointed out the Smiths, and I just added a bunch to my want list. The Morrissey 12 inches. I only, and you kind of responsible for that because you got me one at
Whoa.
WFU.
This is not the final blame game, Arnaldo. Come on.
Because
Come on.
I was like, I have a couple, then I'm getting a couple more. And I never really purchased all of the Morrissey 12 inches of his solo career. So maybe I'll try and source them directly from the UK somehow, because shipping them to most of them are available in the UK, but adding on shipping becomes ridiculous. So
Yeah.
maybe that, just go with the flow, whatever, will pop up that I didn't know I wanted, but then I realized that I did.
Sure. Be flexible, right?
Yeah, and maybe I want to fill out some originals of artists that I really love from the 80s and 90s. 90s becomes a little bit more expensive, but because they're more in demand and less plentiful than the 80s copies. So yeah, I think those are my targets.
Bianco, do you have any targets? I mean, you just told us you're getting rid of half your stuff, so
Yeah.
you have those 5. Is that your target? Your 5 on your want list? Is that your focus?
Actually, yeah. Since I got my 2 Grails this year, I just got that, and I got the EP also that just came out
nice.
in LP form. So I'm looking for Armistice. That's the last one I need.
Oh, you know what? I'll have to look. I was just at my Half Price Books today, as a matter of fact, and they had 2 Mute Math albums in the boxes. I didn't see what the titles were but I mean they're $2 each. But
yeah,
Armistice is one you're looking for.
Yeah, Armistice and Odd Soul if they have it.
Okay, I'll take a look. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be back because it's 20% off all weekend. So I went up there and got some.
All right, bud. Let me know. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Now, Jose, is there something in particular? Is it just more Chileno, más Chileno, todas el tiempo, all the time?
No, I have. I have 2,000 records. More than 2,000 records on the one list. So
you're just gonna just take your finger and just plop it right on there.
Yeah, I would say like 85% of all that list is more than $100. So fuck that shit. I'm gonna try to keep buying. I've been buying a lot of records from my country and from Mexico that I've been looking for. And I just want to fill holes.
We're all about filling the holes on this program. If there's anything that Surface Noise can be counted on, filling
filling
holes.
holes and cleaning jugs. And cleaning jugs.
I'm telling you, you guys, $17.99.
Yes,
The
sir.
Patreon awaits, and we're gonna send you some of this merch. It's literally gonna knock your socks off. It's gonna knock your socks off.
Yes. KFC, record label now, so record related.
Beautiful.
But has anybody bought that record lid?
No, I saw it, but that's even too gimmicky for me to have. Literally, I'm assuming it's a
Well,
flexi disc. Is that what it is? A
it's a
flexi disc in the lid?
flexi disc. Yeah, it's a flexi disc, but yeah, it's my dog.
He heard that KFC. He wants those
Yeah.
11 herbs and spices. I can't blame him. All right. Well, let's wind this part down. This is where we're real structured. We're gonna get into the freestyle as Jose gives his dog some chicken legs. I want to thank my guests. Stick around because the show's not over. The podcast that you can listen to literally in just a matter of hours on Vinyl Community Podcasts is over. But we do the freestyle and then we put the freestyle out the next week. So I want to thank my guests. Jose Moreno, Ron, thank you from a new location for checking in this week to Surface Noise. Good to see you.
Thanks for
Arnaldo,
having me. And happy New Year.
Happy New Year. That's right. This is the last show of 2024. Spins will be back next week with the first show of 2025. So look out for that. Arnaldo, his channel, with that echo, is Fidelios_frequency. And look out for the vinyl tag dropping literally at the stroke of midnight, not a second sooner. The stroke of midnight. Arnaldo, is this accurate?
Yeah, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers because there's already some animosity regarding this vital tag.
It was like the Jets and the Sharks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just wanted to be politically correct, and it's like, I'll just post it on January 1st. But thanks for having me, Concert Buddy, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year to everybody. And then David Bianco on his world tour. He's been traveling more than Katy Perry. David, good to have you back in the saddle, and happy 2024, 2025 to you, sir.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to everybody out there.
And then Jason, Jason was asked if he was wearing a do-rag earlier. I think we've squared that away. Jason Rojas, a big fan of the vinyl tag. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on again, Concert Buddy. It's been a wild 2024.
That's a great way to put it. And scene. All right. Now, freestyle. I've got all the looks for freestyle. Oh, there's Jose's dog. His dog.
That's not Jose's dog. Jose has a Chihuahua. That does not sound like a Chihuahua.
But this is my parents' dog.
So where did you leave the? Where did you leave the dog?
Okay. With a friend. It's too big, so it's gonna
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dog.
All right, so let me change this guy real quick. Freestyle, daddy. All right, so Arnaldo, we would be beholden to start the freestyle with something that was asked in the gallery, and we talked about it right before we went to air to see if this was a topic that it's still a wound that is still fresh. So. But it has some development. So Arnaldo, the question was asked, I think it was KRWD possibly, that asked about an update for the controversial. Oh, you don't need to see me that big. Yikes.
The fuck was that, Shannon?
Yeah, sorry. You can see the big booger in my nose. The controversial topic, and so I'm going to set the scene, and then I'll let you take it from there. But it's about a month ago. Now, this actually took place at the end of October, beginning of November, the whole situation. But we talked about it a couple weeks after that. So it's been about a month since we talked about it on Surface Noise proper. But the abbreviated version is Arnaldo had the Cars Rhino Hi-Fi record sealed, selling it. Aces, no damage. He was one of the lucky ones. He should have bought a lottery ticket because it was one of those records that was not damaged when they were still figuring out their mailers, which I still think they're still figuring out. But they've improved.
When they were arriving at the U line.
Yeah, yeah, they were arriving in the junior varsity boxes. But So he already beat the odds by getting one without damage in these terrible mailers, and he decided to sell it, put it up on the Discogs. He was talking to a gentleman who was very interested with some of the most strange questions I've ever seen anyone ask another seller. But the long and the short of it, deal was made, and then the gentleman was not happy for just a small. Who knows? It was so ridiculous. I don't even.
After seeing many pictures.
Correct. Arnaldo did send pictures. So Arnaldo, in fairness, I mean, the service level was really high on this stuff. So the guy saw the pictures. Arnaldo sent it to him. Used, I believe, an Acoustic Sounds mailer, the winged vessel. I don't know. That should have been the end of the story. This guy was real upset because of the way the shrink had taken. That was it, the Obi, or I forget what it was, but basically, this is somebody who couldn't have been happy regardless. So there's some conversation about how to rectify this. The guy just abruptly, without saying what he's going to do, sends it back. Comes back. It's not our estimation, because I was with Arnaldo when this happened. I was visiting him at the time. Didn't look like the same record to me, in the sense that it was opened when it was returned. It had some cosmetic damage, etc. So then it became a PayPal dispute, because this gentleman then magically was listed one on his Discogs page, mint condition, yada yada. So it smelled real fishy. So we didn't know if he had one and was doing the old, what we call the switcheroo. Something's funny. So anyway, there was some disputes. The PayPal disputes were filed. Uh, Negative feedback given both ways, etc. Arnaldo, I'll let you take it off from there.
Yeah. So the seller, I did not refund immediately the seller because the record that was returned was not in the same condition that I had sent it. And it definitely devalued the value of the record, having now these cosmetic damages. And as I was waiting for a response from Discogs on how to address this, because it is a violation of their guidelines to return an item not in the same condition that it was purchased at. So Discogs notoriously only responds through automated messages, which lead you to self-help links that are quite useless, or AI generated messages that are really not addressing the question. During that time, I also filed with PayPal a heads up, basically saying, what are my protections as a seller with regards to a return that arrived damaged. Did not hear back from Discogs. PayPal was not taking any action. The buyer disputed it with his financial institution, basically claiming through his credit card the money back. And at that point, the only recourse that I had was to dispute the reason for which the buyer was claiming the refund, which was cancellation of a subscription or a recurring payment, which was not the case. The basis of the transaction was the purchase of a record. It wasn't a cancellation of a subscription or a recurring payment. I brought that to PayPal's attention, and PayPal basically said, we'll forward all the documentation that you gave us. And I gave them lengthy documentation of pictures of the transaction, of all the feedback, of all the back and forth emails. And PayPal basically said that the financial institution held their ground on refunding the payment. And to which I responded to PayPal basically saying, well, how do you protect me? Basically, that there is no, you're basically taking the word of the financial institution. Well, just today I was on the phone with them and said, how is this possible? Well, they're a higher authority than PayPal. I'm like, okay, great. So this guy lied to the financial institution to get his money back, and they get away with it. So to me, that's a scam. So The moral of the story is be very careful when you sell on Discogs. That one, there are no protections for sellers, really, and everything is in favor of the buyer. And I had to argue with PayPal to have, because the refund did not happen in the ordinary refund process that you would do through Discogs, none of the fees got credited back to me. So PayPal fee was still on my account. I had to argue to have it removed. The $15 dispute charge, which was charged to my account, also was still on there, and I had to argue to have that removed. And now I'm waiting to hear back from Discogs to have Discogs fees also removed, because basically it didn't go through their process. So they have no understanding, they have no knowledge of that a refund even occurred, because it didn't go through the regular channel of a refund. And that's it.
And how does that make you feel, Arnaldo?
Ripped off, kind of, but it's funny because I'm the seller and I got ripped off. Usually I'm the buyer and I get ripped off. So eventually I turned around, I relisted the item at a lower price, significantly lower, and it sold within 3 days. So I guess I'm partially okay with it. There was also some kind of back and forth with negative feedback that I left on the buyer's account, and then the buyer retaliated and put a negative feedback on my account. I guess we both appealed to Discogs, and Discogs removed both of the negative feedback from each of our accounts. But I would have liked to see the buyer's account been suspended or removed, because he took my copy and tried to sell it on Discogs.
Yeah, there's no doubt
I
about
have a feeling that, remember, we discovered it live that he was
on the show. I mean,
on the show. We discovered it. I was ready to refund. I was ready to refund the guy minus the restocking fee, until we found out that the guy was selling the same item, pristine, on his Discogs profile. And luckily, that very night after we logged off, I took screenshots of everything. The following day, the listing was gone. So I have a feeling that one of our viewers,
Oh no.
yes, may have reached out to this buyer, because we
Oh
also
no.
provided
Well,
screenshot.
Arnaldo, that's my fault. That had to be one of the Bleach Boys, because they hate my
Maybe,
guts.
possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
They
they hate my
probably
guts
sent
so
an
much.
email like, "Hey, this guy's onto you. You better remove your listing, because the
That's like,
listing,
that sounds like something the Bleach Boys would do. There's,
the record never sold, and because you could see their transactions for that release, and the listing was gone. So there's
Oh, this
someone.
is a good question. Hey, Jim T is here. Why don't you call the police for theft? Yes, let's go. Did it cross your mind, Arnaldo, to get the New York Police Department involved in this? Because that's across federal lines. I mean, now you got a potential RICO case. I mean, come on.
Now, I've
They
already
got
wasted.
nothing better to do. Yeah.
I've wasted my time and my energy at this point. I guess it's a lesson learned to have, if you are selling on Discogs, to have
But you know what the lesson here is to
really
me?
tight
And it's
policy.
not you did everything you could, but what really chaps me about it is Rhino doesn't give you visibility of the serial number that you have. So that could uniquely
Yes,
identify it.
that
Yeah.
pissed me
That
off,
is a problem.
because it was sealed and it was behind the obi. I could never
That's
tell if
right.
it was mine
So
or
I
not.
challenge
I hunch that it wasn't.
Rhino to fix that problem, to make it visible to the buyer. You would stop this crap.
Well,
Hey,
they're
that's a great idea.
well,
That's a
they're not.
common sense idea.
Oh,
Well,
it'll never happen then.
they're not thinking about people wanting to flip their records, right? Because they're
No. But every other person, they show you the number.
Yes.
Yeah,
They show
true.
you the
You know
number.
exactly. You know
So
exactly
I
what
don't
number you have.
understand that. So I'll get on Westman. Okay.
No, side note, I know David's joking, but Steve Westman is
I'm not
he's a de
joking.
facto, like anytime, like I'm in
I'm
these
not
Facebook
joking,
groups.
and he's proud of it, and he should be proud of
No,
it.
and power to him. He's the problem solver. But anytime there's an issue with the Rhino Hi-Fi stuff, I look in these groups and they tag Westman, and Westman's like, "I'll get on it." It's like good
He
for
does.
you because
He does.
so I even jokingly, kind of jokingly, I even told Arnaldo, "Well, look, if this doesn't work out in your favor, well, actually, it was actually a different topic. That was about. Can we talk about that real quick? Your Doors box set, your
Yeah.
misstep there. Let's talk about that."
So
Sorry, Arnaldo, if this is too much at once, I mean, I'm hitting
no,
you
it's
with
okay. Well, this is a quick one. So I opened the Doors box set after, honestly, I really didn't even have the time to dedicate to listen to it. But I had it sealed for 2 weeks and I didn't get around to opening it also because I was on the fence about whether I was keeping it or
Oh,
not,
my.
because I have the Doors um, double 45. And, I was thinking about the fact that maybe I'm not going to enjoy the double 45 as much as I would a 33. So that's what was holding me off. I was waiting to hear other reviews, other opinions. And it got to a point where it's really my opinion is the only one that really counts. If I like it or not,
That's right.
it's up to me.
Sure.
And so I decided to open it. Almost like, remember when I would tell you guys about opening the Vinyl Me Please bailers? It's like
You can hold your
holding
breath.
your breath
Yeah.
that everything is okay. Because had been reading on all the forums how people were getting records with sleeves that were damaged with seam splits, and several people complained about warped records.
It's one of the reasons I sold mine, to be honest with you, outside of the financial windfall, was when I
So
saw
after holding my breath, I pulled out one by one. All the covers are perfect, they're immaculate, and I started listening to all of them. And all except for one are impeccably pressed, quiet. Um, they sound fine. I haven't done any comparisons yet to my ears. That's going to be another step. But except for one where I don't know what's going on, I think it's Waiting for the Sun is the one that it was defective. It was horribly defective in the sense that visibly you can't see, because sometimes you can see non-fill noise. I could not see any, but it was crackling all the way through like 2 songs. I had to stop after the second song. I had to stop because it was painful to my ears, and I was like, this is enough, but not to warrant a return or to ask for a return. So I took that one. So 1 out of 6, I guess, was a dud.
it's a hell of a percentage.
But all the other ones are fine. None of them, they're not warped. All the covers are intact, so I'm very happy with that part, except for one. And I submitted my claim to Rhino. We'll probably not hear back from them until January. And if I don't hear back from them, then the video will end up on the Facebook group where I'm telling about.
Oh, daddy.
Or you know what? When they get released in January, and I'm going to put it right here publicly, if they don't send me one back, I'm just going to order the single one and just say, hey, it's defective. Because, customer service for stuff that you pay a lot of money for really should be at the highest level.
Are you ready? Premium product at a premium price comes with, you wait for it, a premium expectation.
Exactly.
So come on.
I don't know. Arnaldo had like bad stories. I mean, it just reminds me of this in 2024.
Oh, no.
You know what? Can I say
Australian
something in defense of this girl? So my nephew does breakdance, and he's pretty good at it. And we had a conversation about that performance. And as a breakdancer, he said, I can appreciate her interpretation of it. And I said, but how did she come to the Olympics? Didn't Australia have anyone better? It's like, no, it's about the interpretation of the music. And remember, girls interpret the music differently than guys. They may not be as athletically inclined to show off all these different moves. But if you go back in the history of breakdance, he didn't see it that as the rest of the world saw it, that it was so bad and that was embarrassing. So just want to send a lifeline to that girl that has gotten so much shit from everybody.
Arnaldo, that's very kind, but let's just keep it real. Nobody can touch Turbo and Ozone. And the fact that Michael Boogaloo Shrimp was not invited to the damn Olympics is a travesty, because that guy is a legend. A legend. So
Sorry, I have to plead ignorant here. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
you've never seen Breakin' 1984? You've never seen Breakin'?
No.
Oh, Arnaldo. I think breakdancing even started in New York. I mean, come on. What is
I wasn't in New York at the time.
Oh, wow. That's about the softest. That's a softer than Charmin excuse, Arnaldo. Your homework for
But
I'm sure you're like a lot of us. There's probably a slower work schedule the next week and a half. I
yeah,
think you need to
well, no
look at.
work schedule.
Okay, there you go. 1984 break-in. It's back when beefs and disputes could be settled just by popping and locking. It was a simpler time, and if you can catch the cameo on the boardwalk, I will send you some VCLT. Don't look it up. You just got to watch the movie.
Okay.
It's a famous action star who had not broken into movies yet, was an extra on that movie. So
And before you take the heat off of me, just want to close with one thing.
do it.
I got this as a present. It is the analog version of Discogs, basically.
Oh man, that's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yes, right. You can enter all your information,
Wow.
but there's one quote before all of the entries, and it rings very true. By Jack White. Until you buy the vinyl record, you don't really own the album.
Ooh.
So yeah, to all you streamers out there, oh, I have a huge collection in my on my playlist.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, good stuff. Well, David, on
Yes,
your world tour,
Yeah.
surely there was some record shopping, or am I wrong? This can kill the conversation real quick. Did you do any record shopping when you're abroad?
I did a little bit in Ireland, and it was a little bit of a bust, I'd say, more or less, because
Was it just like wall to wall, like the Pogues and U2 and anyone else I'm leaving out there?
the stores I went to mainly had new records. There was only one that
I
really
hate
hadn't
that.
used.
Yeah.
So that was really the big bugaboo. And then in Italy, no, I mean, I really didn't have time. I went into a secondhand shop that actually had a picture of a vinyl record on their stand outside, but it was really awful selection. So, but just didn't have time. So I was kind of vinyl off of my mind for the last month or so, really.
Nothing wrong with that. It's giving you a fresh start heading into the new year. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. So I've got some videos to catch up on, some shootouts to do, my album of the year.
So, David, as somebody who's been off the BC scene for, let's call it a month, where do you stand on vinyl tech?
I don't do them that often, so
Okay.
it's usually a lot of work for not a lot of gain. So
Fair enough.
What's the latest one? What's going on these days?
We probably, yeah. Jason's shaking his head. We probably don't want to touch it. I would just say, buyer beware. That's all I would say.
Okay. Yeah, well, I got too many other videos to work on.
Yeah, I mean, even ConcertBudDie made a video or two since you were gone. ConcertBudDie doesn't make videos anymore. So you and Arnaldo is a machine. He has been making a lot of videos, so you need to catch up on Arnaldo's.
Oh yeah, and that one band out of Chicago that he recommended, they're really good too.
He's totally gonna make me look like a putz. Thanks, David. Appreciate you. And then we turn our faithful eyes to Mr. Rojas, and you had some family in town. What's been going on for you since the last time the A side put its lovely gaze on you?
Other than starting the new chapter of VC Leaks or whatever, I just been.
I'm not touching it. Not touching it.
I just been enjoying my time off. I made some videos. Like I continue to make the shootout videos. They've been a lot of fun.
Did I see someone was questioning you on it. They thought you were they thought you were doctoring the video. Did I see something about that? Was that one of the illustrious parody people that was calling you out? What was that about?
Sure, but he's doing it as as a joke.
I hope so.
He's riffing on me basically,
Okay,
and that's okay. Like I think if you can take a joke in the vinyl community, you'll be fine. So I can take a joke. I'm not taking his any of that personally. I won't. Because I've got plenty of videos to do, like David said.
I think BK is right on this one. David's shirt says it all when it comes to vinyl tag. And again, David's shirt says "Good grief." Good grief. That's too funny. Well, guys, I have. We kind of talked. Well, first of all, it's too bad Jose had the drop off. The reason you're not hearing Jose right now is Jose was so disgusted by Arnaldo's plight with Discogs, and he just had to throw in the towel. But all kidding aside, I think he's celebrating Hanukkah. But I actually went and got my Judge records that I've been cleaning. These were. I mean, anytime you can pull these lovely ladies out of the collection, you got to, right? Look at this. Arnaldo, you've never seen this Arnaldo? You've never seen the Judge.
The big hair.
Really?
This is like an '80s high school, yearbook.
Oh yeah, I mean because when you're like collection building,
Bring out the blow dryers.
Nick Drake
That's
just
right.
fell in there by accident, but
Oops.
Yeah.
Wait. The best record, you're not even showing it.
oh well, that's story time because this is one of the reasons. So this is obviously Brighter Later, Nick
Sweet.
Drake, and it's in pretty
Tell me
nice
that's
condition.
Tell me that's the U.S. copy, right?
It is the U.S. copy. And
Okay.
here's the sad part. I thought it was the first U.S. Again, talking about doing your research, this is one of my locals. They had it priced like the U.S. original should be. I saw the black Antilles label. I was like, okay, we're good to go. Did not look at the matrix. You see where this is going? I get home. The vinyl's nice and crisp, clean. Instead of being a 76, it's an 84. So
But you wanted the earlier one, right?
yes, because I know like UKs are like good luck. You have a UK. You probably have the UK, don't you, Jason?
No, I don't have that. No.
Oh, okay.
Did that moment in the back of our car not teach you anything, Chance?
It should have, but this goes back to the trust factor, and I've done a lot of deals with this local, and I didn't think I would need to pull the record out of the sleeve and look everything up because I did. It's like the trust fall. I've bought enough records from this
Circle of trust.
Here's the thing: if you trust this person, can you go back and say, "Hey, I made a mistake"?
It's possible. Yes, I've considered it because I have
even for credit. It's like, okay, can you at least give me credit?
I have considered it, but ultimately the faux pas is on me because I should have pulled it again. Pull it out. There's no such thing as too much research because even somebody 15 years in the game is still making rookie mistakes. So
Yeah.
What is that other record that's sitting on there? Is that the Ned Doheny record?
yeah, so this is the other thing I was going to bring up. So Kendall is not here, but Kendall lives over by Noble Records, right? And this is the from the VOA collection. And I genuinely was not trying to buy any records, but Kendall literally went there on a Saturday, and he's like, "Did you see the Flip video?" I said, "No, I didn't." And so I took a look at it, and I saw this gem. And it's obviously what's it called? A white label promo, I think.
Label promo.
Yeah.
With a timing strip in the front.
Timing strip. It's even got the like Meet Ned Doheny, promotional package in here. Very clean, very crisp. Now you guys are going to make fun of me because some people this stuff doesn't matter. And obviously trying to remove, they wrote in blue ink the catalog number. So there's no way I'm even going to try to take that off. But I did try taking it off of this, and I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I have just left it on? Because it was literally, yeah.
You should have left it on.
I did all my tricks.
What was it? The radio thing?
It was this call letter, and so since it was white, I did a couple of my little techniques that generally work, and it okay because there was already some like tape residue here, so I didn't like go really bad there. But when it comes to like, for example, gold stamp promo here did kind of fade some of that out. So this is me just being OCD. But in terms of the copy,
You're stroking that guy's chest a lot, I've noticed.
I mean, he does have some hairy nipples, David. I am a fan of the hairy nipples, but no, this is actually, in full credit, Jason. I turned me on to this guy in terms of his music because I wasn't real familiar, and so I put it on my want list, and then I listened to it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So yeah, it's been on my want list. So anyway, so Kendall's
What kind of
there.
music is it?
And the name of the album is what?
This is
I'm
hard
familiar with him.
Oh,
What kind of
okay.
music is it?
Okay.
So this is what 78. So this is like it's kind
It's
of
like
how would you
it's like
describe it?
it's
Leaf
like
Garrett?
average white band. Average white band.
Oh, okay. So it's not
So if you
a teen girl kind of.
no. Like it's really good actually. And again, if you like average white band, like
Yeah.
more soul crossed with sort of like Little River
But there's
Band.
some electric elements. Like the first song
Yes.
really kind of threw me for a loop because it was very like keyboard and synth kind of organized.
Yes.
Because in '78, it's right on the cusp of a lot of that sound. But yeah, it's a very collectible record. I mean, in terms of like it's worth a couple bucks, and it sounds good. And I will say, and again, limited. I bought 2 records. The other one was a soundtrack that I didn't bring up here, but this VOA thing is an interesting story. There's a lot of records that already. Yeah, it's an interesting story, if anything else. So I like that.
You got to be careful of those VOA records. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if they're real or not. You know what I'm saying?
Where'd you get this from? This is some Bob Dylan doctored work here. What is this?
Yeah.
This is from A Complete Unknown. This is one of the records they showed, and then this is part of like a parody series that's unfinished, the VOA collection. These albums don't exist.
No, that's funny.
So if you've never seen A Complete Unknown, that's the new Bob Dylan bioepic that opened yesterday. So, give it a shot. Try to look for this record. I'm just kidding. Don't look for this record.
How does it feel?
That's right.
But anyway, so VOA. So Kendall, first of all, shout out to Kendall for hooking it up. And I told he got these, and literally this guy is aces. It was like 11 o'clock my time. He bought him. He literally put him in the mail like same day. So I got him pretty quick. So shout out to Kendall for doing that. But I was happy to pick that one up, and it's fun to have them. I mean, and as you saw, like there's these little stickers they had made up saying from the VOA. So I was at 50% success rate of removing this from the sleeve it came in. But yeah. So, oh no, Eddie is not a fan. He just gave us the dreaded poop emoji. I don't know if that's for the Ned Doney. I don't know if that's for the hairy nipples comment, or I don't know if that was for the Bob Dylan. But yeah, so
Record
oh,
house.
look at this. I'm seeing some positive. It looks better. Okay, so all right, it's hit or miss, right? Like I should have just left it alone. In hindsight, once I saw how it turned out, I was like, eh. But
You know
anyway,
what?
so
Just take a piece of tape, write the numbers back on, make it look like it still had the same number.
Well, you guys know like the technique. So if it's masking tape, which I was expecting that to come with the masking tape on it, because the soundtrack I bought had the masking tape call letters. Everyone knows the masking tape trip. You get a blow dryer and heat it up, and then 8 times out of 10, it'll usually come up and not pull anything up if you heat the glue, the polymers enough. But it also depends on what kind of material the jacket is. This one had like a gloss to it, so it helped out. But anyway, this one did not. It had the tape residue, and they literally wrote in that blue Sharpie, and I was like, wow. So
Yeah, it kind of bled through the tape, right?
yeah, that's exactly what happened. So then it was like, well, so I went through, and first thing I did was I took the magic marker or magic eraser. Is anybody familiar with that? So it's the big eraser. So I tried to soak up some of the. What is this, Jason? Now is this another parody we've got?
Yeah, it's another parody. Relax with My Horns from the VOA collection.
Wow.
I've got 2 more to do. Maybe we'll have a video on that.
So I know what you're spending your free time on. I get it.
They're fun. It's fun.
Mandy and Rob, it looks like.
There we go.
So and Eddie's right. So white covers are tricky. So if you have like a magic eraser, they're good for getting like ring wear off of like white album jackets, right? Sometimes it's hit or miss. This is blue ink. This is blue magic marker. So it got some of that up. So then there's like a science lab thing I'm talking about. There's a chemical called goof off, not the Bleach Boys, goofs, goof off.
Goop?
GOOF. No, not goop. GOOF. And it's claims to be able to remove residues and inks. But you got to be tricky because it can make the ink bleed, which is kind of what happened here. So anyway, probably should have left it alone. That's a whole bunch of jibber jabber for should have just left it alone. But oh yeah, so Eddie just shit on it all. Eddie, that's okay. It's okay, Eddie. Oh man. Well, guys,
No respect.
no respect. I think Arnold's had enough. Arnaldo had enough of my science experiment. He's like, magic erasers. There he is. Let's talk
I
about
just missed the part of the other chemical that you were goof off.
goof off. Yeah. So goof off has it's a hit or miss ratio. It's
And what does
supposed
it
to
do?
it eases off the ink from the material. It's what you think like Goo Gone would do for sticker residue. It claims to find
Another trick.
teach.
Another illustrious member of the VC did a whole video on it. The
Is this illustrious member in New York proper?
no.
Okay. All right.
I think it only works with the glossy kind of covers.
Yeah. Oh,
Magic
you're talking about
marker?
taking the marker again over it? Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The dry eraser.
Yes.
Yes.
The dry eraser marker going over it
Yes.
kind of removes it didn't work 100% on one that I had, but it got some of it off.
Yes.
But on
And
another
when you
one,
get off whiteboards,
if it's the glossier the cover is, the better it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on the composition of the sleeve. I mean, that's what I learned.
And I think it also depends on how long the ink has been sitting on the cover.
Sure.
Yeah, so this is 1978. Let's say they got it in 78, 79. I'm assuming they probably wrote it up then. So you're talking 40 years of having blue magic marker on there. So
Lighter fluid, Ed said.
I've done so. Eddie's right. I tried all of it. It literally was like if you saw my little shelf downstairs, I have Goo Gone, I have Goof Off,
Little
I have
Kebis.
lighter.
Do you have
Yeah.
Hey,
If my house ever explodes, I have like have a meth
you have
lab.
safety data sheets on all those. I want to make sure.
Now,
of
Dave,
safety.
now, see, Dave. Oh, David, don't tell on me. Don't turn me in, David.
Turn you into OSHA.
Oh, now see this one I haven't heard of. So WD-40, interesting.
Yep.
You see, that's where I. Jason, have you used this before? WD-40.
Yes,
Yep.
actually,
Really?
that's what I was taught to
Wow.
do that.
Wow.
And your records won't squeak after that either. So it's good.
It's good for a brake change. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, brake job.
Yeah.
That's funny. I will say to Eddie's point. So lighter fluid is my go-to with old price stickers. But then you get into is it
You can't
better?
do it when you're smoking a cigarette. That's the problem.
Well, you shouldn't do it when you're smoking a cigarette. But but then that raises the question: to leave or not to leave? Because 100% of the time, if you remove an old vintage price sticker with lighter fluid, let's say it comes up clean, you're going to have the ghost shadow. So do you want the ghost shadow or not?
Hmm.
That's when you get into the OCD of some of this stuff. So it's some people like the patina of the $3.99 on there or the Peaches record. Like I leave it if it's a cool store. I'll leave it like that stuff. Like if it's something that went out like
warehouse.
like Pizza Records or something like that that's no longer in business. Like that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I leave those too.
yeah. Last thing I want to touch on before we wrap up the freestyle is we kind of talked about before we started today, guys. Anyone see the Beyonce performance yesterday?
Well, I didn't see it yesterday. I saw it earlier today, and it was fantastic.
Now, you guys, I'm telling you, I just kind of looked into it. I didn't even know Netflix had football. That shows you how
really singing first.
Yes.
I wish she was lip syncing.
No.
See, she was singing.
You raise a good question, Arnaldo. But a couple things. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's like the Super Bowl halftime where they make you lip sync and they don't pay you, and it's usually pretty like vanilla.
Well, knowing Beyonce, she's probably dancing as well. She has a whole dance routine.
Oh yeah,
dancing and singing at the same time is not an easy thing. So
No.
if they want to cheat on it a little bit with a backing track, I don't say it's understandable, but I could see it happening because they want it to sound and look good. We all know Beyonce can sing.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well,
That's not in question.
what if I told you? First of all, what if I told? Well, here's the thing. So Netflix paid a ton of money to have these Christmas games, which are new. Usually, Christmas is the NBA. NBA has unopposed on Christmas, but NFL literally doesn't care, and they want to be on all the time. So they started doing these Christmas Day games. They're going to do 2 for the next couple of years. Well, probably in perpetuity now. But Netflix bought the rights for the next 3 years. Netflix is, I don't know if you know this, Netflix is throwing cash at everybody. They threw all that money at the Tyson fight. They've been throwing money at live content, these roasts. Now they're throwing money at the NFL. For example, the people like that you see on the pregame show who just talk, the talking heads, just for these 2 games, they got paid 6 figures. So there's 4 of them that collected 6 figures for 1 day of work. That's
But
pretty
it's on
good.
Christmas.
Oh, it is on Christmas.
It's
Yes.
on Christmas.
Hell, I'll work twice on Christmas. I don't mind. $100,000. I mean, come on, man. But so anyway, so on top
That's
of that,
before
then
taxes.
yeah, before tax. You're right. But, so take a 40% bite out of that. But the other piece, so Beyonce, so Super Bowl, you don't get paid for. Super Bowl is usually corporate sponsored, Pepsi, whoever. The artist does it for free, or they pay whatever money they do get for setup and or like whatever they need. Pepsi or whoever pays for that. NFL does not pay for that. Opposite situation here. Netflix, because the first question is why hasn't Beyonce ever done the halftime show, the Super Bowl halftime show? Netflix, back that trink up.
Beyonce did have a Super Bowl halftime show.
Did she?
Yeah. Yes, she did. I remember
she's
the
done
year. All the memes.
Really?
Were,
Oh man.
I heard there was a game happening after the Beyonce concert. Because there was more talk about the halftime show than there was about the.
Well, so let's talk about the performance. So she's got the album Cowboy Carter, this country album. Jason's a huge fan. He was saying this earlier. I think don't you have a Cowboy Carter T-shirt, Jason? What are you saying? You have one?
No, I don't.
But so she comes out in a pre-taped piece, which is her doing a Cowboy Carter song. She's riding a white stallion through the back of the stadium, gets off the horse, and then she sings Blackbird, which is, I'm not a fan of the cover. I know it's on the Cowboy Carter album. I'm not a fan of the cover. Jason, do you like the cover of Blackbird that she does?
It's okay. I see, that
It's
why it's part of the
karaoke.
record.
Yeah, I agree. Arnaldo,
They even used the backing track of the master recording.
yeah, well, so once I saw this, I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be lampoon.
Shit, that's more than Kamala paid her.
Oh no, now David, we don't do politics on this program, but 20 million is a big figure. But so she gets off the horse, she's doing Blackbird, and I'm telling you, as soon as she popped, now that's the pre-tape part. She comes out and she just goes hard in the paint, singing, dancing, cameos. My guy Post Malone's there. Her daughter Blue Ivy is there dancing with her. Some rap guy I don't even know, dancing, all kinds of stuff. Amazing. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is what.
Jance, you're telling the story. Make yourself big. You have me with
Oh,
like.
sorry, yeah, Arnold. Well, Arnold, you're a better looking guy than me. Nobody wants to see my face, but yeah, I mean, it's delightful. It was a pleasant surprise. First of all, I told you I didn't know Netflix had the NFL. We just stumbled upon the game. Somebody that was over was like, "Oh, it was football on, bebop, boobop." Couldn't find it. Google it. Says it's on Netflix. I had no idea this whole Netflix NFL arrangement. Turn it on. Just watching the Texans and the Ravens, and they're like, "Oh, Beyonce's coming up." So the game's in Houston, and it's like, okay, this makes sense. And then obviously I started reading a little bit. I was like, "Oh, there's a lot of money involved here." Great performance. Great camera work. It was everything the Super Bowl halftime show should be. And that's not taking a swipe at my man Usher Raymond. He did okay this year, but this was no Beyonce. It was delightful. So anyway, it was a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting that on my Christmas bingo card, with relatives and gift giving and eating too much food and drink and that sort of thing. And then here's Beyonce. And then she ends her performance with a. I saw some of the people had to find some wrong with it. So she ends her performance. She's on a riser. She goes up to the top. She finishes the performance, and then like when they have those like pop guns, the little prop guns, and like in the cartoons, and the little flag would come out and say "bang." So she does that, the little hand gesture with a pistol, and then it says "bang." Well, of course, the internet's beating her up for that, but I'm like, come on, like it was theatrics.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. I know, David. That one was kind of a reach. Like, why are people upset about this? But so Raymond asked, how much did she donate? I don't know. I can't answer that one for you. Sorry. Oh man. Now here's the other point. So the professor is here. Did she play all the single ladies? She didn't play any of the hits.
Nope.
It was straight Cowboy Carter. Yeah, Jason's gonna go get it. That was my one little critique. It would have been nice because like the Super Bowl halftime, they dust off the hits. But it was the first time, allegedly. This is what I read about today, post haste. It was the first time she performed any of these Cowboy Carter songs live. So kind of interesting areas. Yeah, see, look at this. I don't know if that's the same White Stallion that she rode in on, but it was quite a visual. I'll say that.
Did she come in side saddle?
No, she was riding it traditional, but yeah,
Correct.
It was something else. And so here's the last thing we'll leave this topic with, and we'll get off here. She did a they do this cryptic social media post. It's like 1/14/25. I think that was the date. What do you guys think that means? I think it means she's going to announce a tour. What would you guys think?
That's what most people are saying.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah. So Arnaldo, I'd go back. I think it's on YouTube. I saw a YouTube thumbnail for it.
I sent Arnaldo the link.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go look at it now.
David, you'd probably even like it, David. It's not. It's good.
I'll give it a look. I didn't watch it yesterday.
Oh no! Now Michael Tedder coming. He says all proceeds go to the Jay-Z legal fund. Not Michael. Ted Master General. We don't know if that's true or false. We're just here. We're reporting the news. We're reporting the news over here. So, and you like this album, right, Jason? You like, even though it's missing some of the tracks.
Yes. So this is the full version.
So they did end up releasing the full version.
Yeah.
Because that was the critique when it first came out on vinyl, was it missing like 3
Correct.
tracks. Yeah. So Jason has both the abridged and the full version. Am I picking up on that?
The abridged is gone. It's gone.
But you did have the abridged.
Yes. They got me.
He's part of the Beehive. Jason Rojas, chairperson of the Beehive. You heard it here first, folks.
Right. They got me.
Oh, they got you. Well,
So I'm coming.
Yeah.
Reel 'em in.
They're like, this guy buys multiple copies of an album. Let's hold out the first 3 songs, and then we'll throw out the deluxe expanded edition. And Jason's like, hello, Waterloo. 11 o'clock at Waterloo. Who's that? Hello, Waterloo. He's knocking on the door. You guys open?
Right. Got me.
Well, from what I understand, she kept revising and working on the album even after the artwork and the track list and all the metadata had been sent to production. And it was only too late to call back and redo everything because there's probably a 10-week lead. So that's what I heard, is that she kept on, it wasn't really final, and that possibly it was possible. Okay, to say that it wasn't intentional, that when you went on the website to pre-order it, there was no track listing, I thought that was a bit deceitful. Because by that time that the pre-order went up, they probably already knew that another version was coming out, because at that point she probably had finalized all the songs, because when it dropped on release day, all those 27 or 28 songs were there. So by the time the pre-order went up, I'm pretty sure that they knew what the track list was. They just didn't disclose it, which I thought was a little shady. And I think on the back cover of the first version, I think there wasn't a track listing, and that fans had to scan the QR code to get the track listing on the website. It was a bit convoluted, so I think there was some collusion there, or some non-transparent.
Well, they wanted to sell what they had already committed to, get that going
Right.
first. Yeah. So, yeah.
Fair enough. So, Jason, the last question I have for you, obviously, now that we've outed you as a charter member of the Beehive, you have all these lovely, lovely Brazilian records, but yet on the on the edge of your wall of wow, you've got these record store titles. You've got U2, and you got Tegan and Sarah. I can't say. Oh yeah, you got those other ones over there. So, thought process behind having it's like a sandwich. The bread is the record store days titles, and then the meat is these delectable Brazilian releases.
I intended to buy the Herb Albert record, and just fill the gap. That's the whole thing, It's just filling the gap. So when you see me, like the records that are the main focus will be these for the month, and then the rest will just be, But in order for me to, fill in the gap, I just threw these records on.
I understand. Well, that's also because Vinyl Chris Piper. He bullied you into adding additional shelf space. Is that accurate? We need to.
That is correct. That is correct.
I figured he's good for that. He's good for getting us to do things we don't.
I mean, he was right. It's all about presentation, as you know. Sure. Everyone looks at the background, and you can see these Brazilian records if you know them, right? Like they're very. Wow.
Who did it better, Arnaldo or Jason? I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty festive situation.
I just thought it was really bad artwork. I didn't know what the hell it was.
So if you like
tree, I get.
If you like psychedelic music, David, and the '60s, then this may be your cup of tea.
All right, I do like psychedelic. There we go. Ta-da.
So start out with the Caetano Veloso right here, and maybe go to the Os Mutantes, right?
I've never eaten those.
Cesar, we'll do you a solid. Did anyone pick up what do they call it? Because music matters, Dookie.
Because sound matters. I think it's called.
I'm sorry, because sound. That's how important it is to me. But yeah, did anyone pick this one up? I know Cesar did. Did anyone else? Jason, did you grab this one?
No. I almost grabbed the American Idiot. It was at Waterloo, and I was holding it, and I was texting Cesar about it. But I just felt like, this is something I'm not gonna.
Oh, I thought it was autobiographical. What do you mean?
No.
Jeez, oh man, I can't.
David over here.
David is he's coming at you, Jason. I don't know how you feel about
that. Hey, that was lovingly provided by Kevin Gray.
Then you better boost up the bass and the mid-range on that joke.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh,
so is it because sound matters? Is that who releases this?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, I guess no one on our dais did. All right, Cesar, we're going to need you to do a video once you get that in.
After I was told that they removed Elmo, I was like, nah.
Posers, exactly. Posers. I mean,
you can't even get the back cover right.
Yeah, you didn't want to buck up with Sesame Street and.
It's not Elmo. It's Ernie. It's Ernie. It's Ernie.
Ernie. Okay, thank you.
Holy cow!
Well, as somebody who has an original, I'm quite content with my original, and as tempting as an audiophile release of Linkin Park is to somebody like me, I can wait for it to be on clearance. To be honest with you, because I have a feeling those will be in the bins. So, side note, we'll leave the show with this. What is one thing that you will be clogging your local bins in 2025? For me, it's Vinyl Me Please overruns, because I'm already seeing it. It's the titles nobody wanted the first time, or the second time, or the get 8 free time, and now they're clogging up my bins in my locals. Do you guys have any nominees for this dubious award?
Vinyl Me Please. I don't know. I've been selling them, and some of them.
You're the one. You're the one that's clogging up my bins.
It'll be those Beatles 64s.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're talking about the non-box.
The individual ones?
Yeah, the non-box. Yeah.
Wow, why do you say that?
Because now, if you hurry, you can get them on the UDiscover website.
Oh, 50% off?
50%
yeah, only $15. Now is your chance. Get them all. But the box set is.
I think they made too many, is what I think. I think it's the next Adele.
Wow, shots fired. Adele 30. Oh man,
Yeah.
you're giving that away. Well, guys, I think we've. Oh, here's a good one. The record keeper says, "I'm waiting for the Weezer Blue box set to go on clearance." Well, I don't think you'll be waiting too long. I would give it before the end of the first quarter that you'll see that one on the discount bins. All right. Well, freestyle guys, good run. 2024, another good run for Surface Noise, in my biased opinion. I want to thank everybody. We have a pretty good crew coming on pretty much every week. A side with yours truly, B side with Jason, Spins
Yep.
Vinyl. And you should check out Spin's channel. He's doing a lot of stuff on Mondays. I know Jason joined him for an album cover discussion. So Jason Spins Vinyl is really hitting it hard, talking about music. He sells on Whatnot too. So he's a content creator, tour de force. Unlike my lazy bones, I can only muster up every other week, and maybe I can do a video here or there. So I'm going to do a video this weekend, though. I think I'm going to talk about my pickups of the year. And
Do the vinyl tag.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. The whole thing, this was, I don't know, man. It's
Create a new one. Be inventive.
no, but you know how it is, David. There's the vinyl tag that 60% of people will do, and then they bastardize it. And there's the alt rock vinyl tag. There's the Kenny G vinyl tag. There's the, you know what I mean? And that I just can't, like, no offense, I don't have that much time to watch all that stuff. I try to watch. Here's the other thing: support who supports you. I noticed in 2024 there are channels that I haven't heard from all year on anything that we do or I do, but boy, they sure don't mind me commenting on their stuff. So support who supports you. That's the takeaway.
Yep. Good idea.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's the freestyle. That's Surface Noise A side. Spins has got the controls next week, B side, on the 2nd of January. I want to thank my guest, David Bianco, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. Look for him on Whatnot. He's selling some records on Whatnot.
Yep. Vinyl forever.
Arnoldo Fidelius _frequency. We're going to find this guy. What was his name? Hang on.
My foolish behavior.
My foolish behavior. Yeah. What a perfect name for a
Buy
jabroni.
anything.
Yeah. So anyway, Arnaldo, always good to see you. And then Jason Rojas.
Thanks for having me on, Concert Buddy.
He's got another parody cooking. Those things are just, they are what they are. Anyway, and thank everybody in the gallery. Again, appreciate your support. Talking about support who supports you. I know tons of these folks are here every week, or at least every week I'm here, and I sincerely, no fooling, appreciate it. And again, the Bleach Boys. Have a great 2025, Bleach Boys. All 6 of you.